Hey folks, this is Bardic Dragoon. Welcome back to Dragon Quest II. So when we last left off, we had, well, gotten the Eye of Rubus and the False Idol out. We got the damage 4 starts there. But yeah, everything we need to... one moment. Sorry about that, as I was about to say, everything we needed to make our way to Rendark. And, well, we'll get to that in a moment here. I had been misspeaking throughout this series regarding one particular aspect of things. But yes, if we leave there from, what's the name? Baron, the floating town, there's that teleportal there. That'll take us to here, on the map. Where, well, there's this little fire to talk to. See what happens. Where venturest thou, child of the children of heroes? So at last you are ready to approach Falhagon's dwelling place. Make haste unto the marshes beyond this place, and there hold thee the idol aloft. Then shall thy path become plain. All rest upon your shoulders now, scions of Erdrick. By your united strength may evil be driven from the land at last. Yeah, and that basically just tells you how you're supposed to use the false idol to open the cave to Rendark, which basically, well, like I said, stand in the marsh and use it there. So, ow. Alright. Oh, by the way, I did grinding. I got, I think, 2 levels since the last time we saw, which, not too much of a big thing, mostly, except for the fact that we got Perenel's ultimate attack spell, Kaboom, which hits all enemies. Unlike every other attack spell, which only hits a group, Kaboom hits everything. And it does some pretty meaty damage. Nice spell to have, though, of course, expensive. But just that one, we were at full magic, and that actually only used 8 MP. Well, anyway, we only got a little over 100, so, that's... like 9 or 8% of our MP right there for one spell. But yeah, it's kind of a win instant and nuke the enemy spell. But anyway, first thing, Sigurd, safe passage. And I believe, Sigurd, you okay? You have the false idol. An ugly effigy of the deity of destruction. Sigurd reverently offers up the false idol. And so, well, there we go. Opened up the cave to Rendark. Which I've sort of throughout the series I've mentioned this place a few times. But short version, essentially we have, well, easiest way to show it is to go down here. Because down here, you'll notice there's a treasure chest. Yep, okay. It did go off when we entered the dungeon. Safe passage. This treasure chest... Oh, Seed of Strength. I wonder what they put here. This is actually where the life or soul seal... Or soul... The seal is... What? Oh, right. My inventory's full. Well, let us throw the false idol since we don't need it anymore. Nope, apparently not. Okay. Yeah, stepping on damaged tile. Lorage has been damaged a little bit, so let's get him some of that good herb. There we go. And just short of full HP. More importantly, let's get the Seed of Strength. Anyway, what I was originally talking about with that treasure chest is that treasure chest is actually where you would find the life or soul seal prior to the mobile version, or the, I guess, technically the smartphone version, since there was actually a Japan-only version for flip phones that I guess is technically the mobile version since it was first. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you do need to get the enter this dungeon here in order to get the first seal, but it's right here near the entrance. Though admittedly, well, then again, since there are all the steps that you go down, like the stairs you need to go to actually go up and further into the dungeon, are a little bit farther back, and there's also holes in the floor you can fall through that will take you down to here. So, in a sort of weird, dickish sort of way, it actually does direct you towards this, I guess. But this version and the versions that we've been playing, or the version that precedes it, have all. Yeah, let's give it to Sigurd. But they've changed the location of it, which I guess makes sense considering the fact that the whole finding the king of Tantagel and Walking Corpses. Have we fought those before? No, just in case not. But yeah, the fighting the, or like getting access to the king of Tantagel or Alfgard, whatever. They're you know, it's a thing you can do, but like in the original, actually, yeah, because the Famicom version came for 4, it didn't actually accomplish anything. But with the, sort of the original, because there's also the MSX version, which I don't know if it was simultaneous or very shortly after, that did accomplish something. Not something that a lot of people really cared for, though. Well, first things first, Walking Corpses here. HP of 90, 51 attack, 2 defense, 20 agility, they get 61 experience points, 51 gold, can drop a prayer ring, and they can use poison attacks, sweet breath to put you to sleep, or I forget what it's called, and this might still be, as I've mentioned before, I'm using for all this material referencing to older translations, so names might be different, but yeah. They can poison a character, put everybody to sleep, or perform a stronger than normal attack. So we, predictably enough, are going to go with our standard that's been working so well for killing things. Sigurd and Laurasia attack. Paranel holds the brandishes the lightning staff to get a free lightning spell in. And apparently the one enemy that's left standing is gonna miss. But yeah. In the MSX version, you actually, if you get access to... Really? It already went away? Safe passage, like, lasts for no time at all. But yeah. If you talk to the King of Alfgard, with Paranel in your party, which you can't really get to that point in the game. Oh, the Whack-A-Lite. Weren't these guys a boss in the last video? I can't remember if it was the Thunder Rod or the false idol that we got from fighting these things. Either way, they're now regular enemies. We've already fought them though, so I'm not going to talk about that. But if you talk to them, if you talk to the King of Alfgard, and you had no, like, Paranel was not wearing any armor, you could actually get a unique item. That unique item has a bit of a kind of mimetic history. As I mentioned, there are holes in the floor. I was not paying attention to the map where that one was, so that's my fault. But yeah, or you would get a unique armor for her. It's basically a bikini. And yeah, if you equipped it, you would actually get the image of her in a bikini that wasn't terribly well drawn. Apparently that thing itself was referenced in what's it called? La Mulana, I think. It's a game that had like a super hard on for the MSX in general. So like I guess that makes sense. But anyway. The Striking Saber Cuts, I don't believe we fought those yet, so I'm pulling up the information on them. Pardon me. So, Striking Saber Cats, 80 HP, 95 attack, 76 defense, 71 agility, they have 128 experience, 55 gold, they can drop a spear, and they can perform just a more powerful attack. So, I'm thinking Laurasia, Sigurd, you take on that, and then you use the lightning staff on the Striking Saber Cats. That didn't do too good. Really, Laurasia, you couldn't have hit the one that was already damaged that you might have killed, really? Meanwhile, Sigurd's in a bit of pain here. Oh, now he's definitely in pain. Okay, well that was a good call to have her heal. There we go. Okay. But yeah, that actually was referenced. I think it's like the bonus super stupidly hard area of the game. You basically you beat the end of it and you get a swimsuit for the main character, who that then shows an image of it, and like first of all, it's a muscular, slightly hairy guy in a thong and bikini top, which maybe that's your thing, not mine, and not a lot of people. So, but it's also similarly not super well drawn. That's kind of the most notable thing from my understanding about the MSX version, other than kind of just the MSX being slightly more powerful than the Famicom around the time. It had like slightly better graphics, but those two things are about it. Anyway, though, but yeah, so they now put that where you can get the lifesteal through finding him instead. I prefer that as far as the way the quest is laid out. Like, oh, we step right into the final dungeon, then we have to step out to use the life seal along with the other seals that you should have hopefully gotten before you get to this point, in order to get the Eye of Rubus. Which I was mistaken what the seals and the Eye of Rubus did. The Eye of Rubus is actually, it's not needed for this dungeon, it's needed for the final dungeon. The final dungeon, when you walk into it, it's kind of does the same thing like the first game, where the game, actually, quick thing to show here, because this is, oh, did we talk about this guy yet? I kind of was paying attention to talk about other things. I kind of forgot what we hadn't talked about here. Well, he seems to be popping up a lot, so when he pops up again, I'll pull up the actual information. But yeah, this area is a looping path. And gremlins. We've fought with these things before. There's nothing really to write home about. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna nuke them. But yeah, because this area, well, this little area here is kind of a, and I remember this being a thing, but I forgot, like, I thought this is what you needed the Eye of Rubus was to get through this, but it's actually the final dungeon. Without the Eye of Rubus, you can't actually enter the final dungeon, which is to say you can enter it, but you can't actually get to the dungeon. But yeah, this thing kind of loops around in a weird way, where, like, if you enter the wrong area. The problem is metal slimes are resistant to magic, so like I can't like do an attack all, I'm just gonna like miss all of them. But anyway, this area kind of loops around, and it's kind of a confusing thing, but no, you need the Eye of Rubus to actually access the final dungeon, even if once you're able to enter it. Of course, the metal slime's all running away, and we can't hit for shit. Oh, hey, Laurasia got a hit against one of them, yeah! Yeah, we got one of the metal slimes killed. Huzzah! And we killed one metal slime. I'm not too. I'm okay with this. Though in this dungeon, there's actually something even better than a metal slime we might be able to find, but it's a really rare encounter. Alright, Laurasia leveled up. That's cool. Sigurd. Sigurd reached a level up. Ah, you learned Thwack. Thwack is an instant death spell. I forget the accuracy of it, but it's not terribly high, and I think it only hits one target. I'll double check on that. But for the moment, yeah, Paranol gets to be the healer. Actually, wait. I should get to be the healer. We have herbs. But yeah, and that's, I remember this little, I think it was this little area where like kind of loops around, and the logistics of how this place is laid out doesn't make sense. And I thought you needed the Eye of Rubus to get through this, or rather, I couldn't remember specifically the Eye of Rubus, like just the thing with all the seals, that's what it does, is allow you through here. But no, this is just knowing how to get through here, which is actually really simple when you do know it, but like it loops there. So if you go out of the north or south entrances, it loops to either end of that hallway that we were in when we went, started initially going the correct direction for, like, let me show this thing off, because this is awkward and kind of obnoxious. You know, in hindsight, it might have been better to just view the healing and, like, leave the herbs for, yeah, whatever. And then if you go bottom or top, it'll just loop. But what you need to do is go into this hallway, and then if you're counting like this, from the left, it's going to be one... Down. Ghouls. Okay. First, we'll talk about these guys. Ghouls are, well, of course, part of the undead family. 80 HP, 6 MP, 103 attack, 19 defense, 21 agility, give 91 experience points and 100 gold. They can drop a sickle, and they can cast Frizz. Not super deadly, so we're not going to worry too much about them. But yeah, you need to go to, it's the third if you're counting from the left entrance. Third, actually, the way this is laid out, actually, it's the third from either direction. And then you need to go 2, 3, no, go up, and boom, there's stairs. Otherwise, it'll just take you to an empty room that loops around that tunnel. But this actually takes us to the next stage of the dungeon, which is where things get more traditionally dungeon-like, less, hey, let's just screw around, and more directly, there's actually stuff here. Now, but one of the things here is that there's two items in here. Basically, the last two things we need to max out to get Larasia's strongest equipment. Loto's armor, or Erdrick's armor, sorry, mixing my translations again, and it's an older translation been called the Thunder Sword. I'm not sure what it's going to be called here. But yeah, those are both inside of here. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to, make sure we get those. Alright. Sorry, double checking my pathing of how do we get to, okay, it's not just like that, okay. Okay, so first one, what we're going to do, well... that's quite a party. Guess what we're going to do? Paranel? Nuke them till they glow. Nuke them till they glow and then stab their corpses to make sure they stay down. I mean, they are zombies. Zombies have a tendency of getting back up in most fiction. Doesn't work that way in this. Orc kings and gargoyles. Fairly certain we fought these, so I'm not going to bore you guys with talking about them. But yeah. So then where is... Okay, actually, I know the pathing we're taking it makes sense. I think we've talked about Orc Kings before. None of the gargoyles, we fought those out on the sea, so that one, but the Orc King, I don't remember fighting an orc that was, like, it took 2 turns of concentrated checks from everybody to kill it. Whatever. Magic anyway, so like the fizzle wouldn't have done any good. Woo! Found some money. Which, actually, money, despite the fact this is kind of the point of no return question mark, at least it's kind of phrased that way, like you have to open a secret passage to to travel to Rendark. It actually doesn't work out that this is the kind of final area. It's more so that the way that this is laid out, you essentially have to go... Well, you'll get through this dungeon, and that actually takes you to one last spot on the world map, which I'm kind of interested in seeing, because it actually, in prior versions of the game, has its own color palette. And it's like its own color palette and its own tile set. It's kind of interesting, actually. Anyway. Okay. And so that's going to be here. And this is going to be obnoxious. Because here, there are lots of holes in the floor. But, presuming they haven't changed the position of those holes in the floor, I should be following a good path to get us to where we want to be at. Yeah, sledgehammer. Strictly for the extremely strong. Let me check on something, I think. Okay, no, that's just a normal hammer, which is weaker than what we have. Okay. Around here, you can actually, this is where you can find the cursed equipment in this game, is enemy drops. I think one of them is actually an item that you can find in the final dungeon, but one of them is a just random drop from here. Alright, okay, this room is more obnoxious in kind of the other direction. In fact, the only way out of here is the stairs, or a single hole in the floor, which is what we're looking for. But it's a huge room, Argonauts. I'm pretty sure we have not talked about you. You do not look familiar at all. Argonauts. Okay. Okay, why is okay. Argonauts, 77 HP, 25 attack or 25 MP, 115 attack, 72 defense, agility of 65, 201 experience points, 135 gold, and they can drop. Ah, they can drop the Thunder Sword. That's weird. Unless it's another sword it's thinking. I hate working across multiple translations. They can also heal themselves, but they can heal themselves, increase their party defense, attack twice, and basically perform a manual critical hit. So yeah, we want these things to die quickly. Let's see. Oh, okay, no, Thwack actually hits everything. Okay, but if I remember correctly, it has a not great accuracy rate, so we're going to go with this instead. Oh, right, no. That's right. Defense is the defense lowering spell. There are weird things about the old translation for this game. That, like, that's the translation I grew up with and have a certain level of nostalgia for, but, like, what? Oh, shit. The Rage is dead. Okay. No. We're gonna do this. And there we go. And behold, the Thunderbolt Blade. Apparently is what it's called. Which we stuffed into Larage's pockets, even though he's dead. Which is appropriate, because this is the most powerful weapon you can equip. 154 with the Aurora Blade, which is the strongest sword you can buy. 179 with the Thunderbolt Blade. In addition, if I remember correctly, the Thunderbolt Blade actually casts a spell if you... Nope, with the Banishing Bell. Alright, so now there's only one more thing we need, but instead, we are going to get the heck out of here. And then we're actually going to go to Burrowell. Oh, actually, one thing here. Oh, yeah, we already gave him the Aurora Blade. Okay, cool. So yeah, we got some stuff to sell off as well here. course, we came here because even though Baran is closer to where we're going to get back to, Resurrection, Laurasia, 145 coins. That's still not too expensive. I remember it being a lot more. Then again, as they've remade this game, they've lowered the difficulty further and further. I mean, admittedly, they've lowered it in ways that like make the game less tedious, so I'm okay with that. But still. Oh, merciful goddess, mother and mistress, ruler of this world and the next, guide the spirit of Laurasia. Alright, we've got 5,000, I've got 10,000 in the bank. Let's take a quick look equipment-wise. I think you sell things that I might want. Aurora Blade. Wait, what? He said something. Oh, get back here. Oh, the sledgehammer. Yep, 3,000. Okay, he's just saying the normal. I forgot that that's they say that like when you're selling stuff to them. Like, oh, let me think for a moment. Alright, so 30,000. You are not the merchant I was looking for. Are you who I'm looking for? You're not a merchant. Yeah. No. Yeah, the power shield. Which the power shield, actually, I think I'm going to buy that. I'm going to take the gold out. Because the power shield is, well, first of all, it's the best shield Sigurd can equip. But it also actually allows you to cast heal more. Because, yeah, as far as equipment, we actually have... Perenelle already has her best equipment. There's one piece missing, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Laurasia, we've got everything but his strongest armor, and we're going to find that in the dungeon we're looking through today. Sigurd, his armor, he has the strongest weapon, and we're about to buy him the strongest shield. He still needs to get the strongest armor, which is that mink mantle. Well, technically we could give him as the flowing dress can actually be worn by any of the party members. So it's pretty much that's going to be your strongest armor for either Perenelle or Sigurd, depending on how you want to play it out. There we go, yeah. Withdraw. No, withdraw. Money. I want 1,000 gold. And let's actually deposit items. As now that it's open, I don't believe we need the false idol anymore, so... Yeah, take this cursed idol out of our possession for the moment. The power shaft, frag. I need another 1,000. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Alright, now we can buy the power shield. If I can walk into the store, thank you. Yeah, when you use it in battle, as I said, it casts, if I remember correct, it casts heal more. It's also the strongest shield for Sigurd. So he's going to equip this. And let's sell off his leather shield. The only other shield he can equip besides the power shield. And so now to max out Sigurd's equipment, we just need to get... Oh, since I've got 8,000 in the bank, it's actually only 7,000 left that we need to get. Yeah, no big deal. Actually, then again, considering we were only in that dungeon for not even 20 minutes and we already hit, probably 5,000, it actually might be fairly viable. Alright, let's actually stock up on herbage. course, the Tombola ticket. On this whole Tombola thing, like, it's a cool idea on paper, but it doesn't really, it's not that great. I don't think there's a Tombola guy in here, but there is one in Baran, so we'll take care of that there. Yeah, kind of the idea, and that's actually apparently a thing in, like, just Japanese stores in general. Like, when you buy stuff, you actually are entered, you can get a chance to win a ticket, and then, like, oh, you can trade that ticket in a game of chance to get free shit. Apparently, I don't know. It's a thing I've heard of. I don't know how true it is, though. Oh, and I didn't want you to explain it, crud. And yes, like, kind of to include it into here, it's kind of, that's a cool thing, like, even just, like, in the day that this came out. Like, oh, they could actually integrate that into the game. That's crazy. So that's kind of, it's got that going for it. Plus, it's just a thing. But, like, the capacity to win prizes using it isn't all that great. And, like, only one or two of the prizes are really all that worthwhile. But, you know, whatever. Alright, let's take another crack at that dungeon then. First things first. Sigurd, the man who will never have full MP if he's around us. Yep, okay. The cave does remain open. That's good. Then I forgot to cast Safe Protection. Or Safe Passage, whatever the heck the spell is called. Actually, if I remember correctly... this does a thing. I don't remember, though, so let's see what happens. The Sigurd attacks. Paranel branded to the lightning staff. Ah! Yep. Okay. So Laurasia now basically can also use the item in and hit multiple enemies. Though it's much weaker than, you know, if he just uses his sword. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage, and I can appreciate it. Anyway. Safe passage. Alright. And it was... Oh. Okay, you've definitely fought these things. One moment. Okay, Eyelashers. I mean, it's Dragon Quest, they do puns for enemy name, but still. Anyway, Eyelashers. Have HP of 67, 15 MP, attack power of 74, defense of 22, 55 agility, give 118 experience, 81 gold. They can drop a cursed shield, as well as, and they can have the ability to put your party to sleep, cast Fizzle, or drain your MP. So, you know, just fun all around enemies. Let's just not. Oh, I presume Paranel getting a level up. Yep, 22. Man, she's so good she can level up in her sleep. Okay, anyway. Getting to where we need to go without falling through the floor. Okay, these dudes, since I'm not sure if we've talked about them. Let me get their information pulled up here really quickly. There we go. Chasmonauts. 72 HP, 4 MP, 83 attack, 28 defense, agility 53. Gives 115 experience, 80 gold, And they can actually also drop a cursed shield. A lot of things here can do that. And they can lower our defense. Since there's only 2 of them and they aren't terribly tough, we're gonna just go ahead and do our normal, everyday enemy strategy here. Okay, and so if we do... There we go. Pass by it. And here... 1, 2... Gremlin... Die... 3... Stairs up... Alrighty. And now... Okay. Yeah, we'll focus on the gargoyle. See, the weaker and easier to kill of the 2 here. But just in case we haven't talked about the gargoyle or the orc kings, I'm fairly certain we have come across them. But like I said, I did some grinding. I actually did that grinding outside the entrance to this. So I've been seeing those things for a bit, but I don't remember if that was on camera, if I last saw them. But actually, yeah, gargoyles we might have seen. But yeah, gargoyles. HP of 60, MP of 15, 85 attack power, 51 defense, agility of 64, give 107 experience points, and 95 gold, and they can drop an iron helmet. And they can also seal magic. As for the Orc Kings, let me get them pulled up here. Okay, yeah, these ones we would have been able to see here, so I haven't talked about them. So yeah, 110 HP, 15 MP, 99 attack power, 80 defense, 60 agility, gives 204 experience points, 181 gold, and they can drop a tombola ticket and heal themselves. Not super great. Anyway, to get the Loto's armor, Erdrick's armor, whatever. Actually, yeah, we'll start off with that. If anything's left after this, then that'll go be put onto the Orc King there. But yeah, to get Erdrick's armor, we need to take a slightly different path than what we did before. Actually, the path we took is kind of the correct path. Arguably. The way that this place is laid out, it's a bit well, actually, that would have been the correct path. Up to, well, from this floor. The next floor, the floor after this wouldn't have been less correct. Also, I'm noticing Perenel's looking a little hurt there. Take some of this good herb. What is her health max HP at? 92. So yeah, another bit of herb for her. Alright, cool. So first thing first, this chest here, which doesn't have anything super amazing in it, if I remember correctly. Once again, we'll focus on the gargoyle. And yeah, they can use mid-heal. Have I been calling it heal more? I mentioned old translation, it's what I grew up with for these games, but still... Pardon me, anyway. Oh yeah, tombola ticket. Whoa. And then you... Yes. Actually. See if this works as well as it seems like it might. Maybe? Nope, that didn't work anywhere near as well as I thought it would. Though we can pick them all off with normal attacks on the next turn, I suppose. No. Okay, Paranol did a bit less damage than I thought she would. Oh well. And then if we go up here... Yes, and just to make sure... Yeah, there's nothing here. Other than Erdrick's armor. Which is Larasia's strongest armor. Why am I going to equip this here? Going above even the tectonic plate. Bringing our defense to 168 points. And now... Nope, it's done. Larasia is fully kitted out. With Erdrick's armor, shield, and helmet, but a whole new sword. Because you gotta have something original to himself. Sigurd is still... We need to get him the mink fur, or whatever the heck that thing was. The fur mantle, I forget what it was. A mink mantle, maybe? I don't know. So he's still got a ways to go on that, though selling the tectonic plate will probably be some good money. And Sigurd and Paranel actually both have a helmet they can get. It's the only helmet they can use in the game, and it's kind of obnoxious. I forget the... Well, I don't know the translation in this game, what it's translated as, but it's essentially... It's in older translations has been referred to as the magic hat. And yeah, the magic hat, it's the only, as I said, only helmet that Paranel and Sigurd can use. It's not even that great of a helmet, honestly. It's only, what? 5 defense, I think? I'll give you one moment. No, that's right, the way this is sorted. Yeah, magic helmet, it is 8 defense. Only marginally stronger, actually helmets, even though they're a new thing for this game, there's not a lot of them in general. There's the iron helmet and the, pardon me, Erdrick's helmet that the hero can use, Larasia. And then there's the magic helmet, which is for the other two. It's not super great. But yeah. And so, as I said, only 8 defense, no special properties, and it is only dropped by a boss fight in the final dungeon, not the final boss, but just a boss fight that comes up before you get to the final boss, and an enemy here in the dungeon, and it's a rare drop. It's one of those, you know, completionist bait kind of items, like, oh, you want to get everything in the game? Prepare to grind, kind of things. I don't really like it. Then again, I've never really liked those kind of things anyway, so I suppose that makes sense. Anyway, so with where we're going now, where are we going? Yeah, there's that one there. Just a little bit of gold. We'll go get it anyway. Because, yeah, there are a few other treasure chests. We've gotten the main things, that big chunk of money. Ah! The liquid metal slime. I mentioned there was something in here that is better than a metal slime. This is it. Let me get the actual numbers pulled up here. Yes, liquid metal slime. 5 HP, same as the metal slime. 30 MP, again, same as the metal slime. 75 attacks. So this thing can actually put up a fight. It's not deadly, but it can put up a fight. And again, 255 defense. Agility of 200. So it's basically guaranteed to get the first hit no matter what. Gives 10,150 experience points and 255 gold. So that's cool. But yeah, we're gonna stab this thing. Oh, we're gonna try. You can say we're gonna succeed. Alright, 1 point of damage. 4 more to go. You liquid metal slime. Yeah. it's actually one of those things. I don't think it's like one of those things. It's not like variants of Pikachu in the Pokemon series. Like each generation, there's a new Pikachu equivalent kind of thing. It's not something like that. But it is something like they've introduced further and further versions of the Metal Slime kind of prospect throughout the series. Where like Metal Slimes honestly aren't all that interesting anymore. They're not exciting to find. Well, I mean, it's still exciting to find a Metal Slime because they'll usually have those pop up somewhere where it's like, okay, that's cool. You know, that experience or that amount of experience is kind of a boon to get that at that point. But then, like, as you get farther and farther in the game, you know, you're going to end up like, oh, okay, there's stronger versions, and like farming Metal Slimes is kind of a thing nowadays in the series, or well, the equivalent of Metal Slimes rather, because there's like, you know, King Metals, like giant Metal Slimes, the metal. Well, you can see that they're the liquid Metal Slime, which is basically just a Metal Babble. It's actually, I think, it's actually in the old translation that's what it was Metal Babble, or Meta Babble rather. Laurasia? Sigurd. Okay, cool. But yeah, like I remember in Dragon Quest VIII, there was actually like a area you can get to late game. It's like Metal Slime Hill, and it was just basically, or Slime Hill, and it was basically just slimes were the only type of enemy that popped up there, and the slimes that did pop, and it had like a higher than normal rate of the variations of Metal Slimes popping up. Sorry, I'm also pulling up, like I said, that's the... Let's see, Laurasia leveled up here. I mean, it's good when he levels up, but it's not like anything exciting or to write home about kind of thing. Do some healing after this. Let's see. Yeah, Metal King, like in the later series, like there's Metal King Slimes, Metal Slime Knights. Oh yeah, in 7 where they had like the plates, which were like, you know, kind of in the same thing. Oh, we got Tromble a ticket. Isn't that exciting? Alrighty. Actually, you have the most MP right now, so you will actually heal yourself. Actually heal Sigurd while you're at it. And then I'll go ahead and give Laurasia some of that good herb. There we go. And yeah, it's just like one of those things, you know, it's like, okay, you got, you know, Metal King Slime, Metal Slime Knights. As I said, there's the jewels and plates, which is like Platinum King Jewel, Metal Kaiser Slimes, and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, you kind of run this shtick into the ground, and I kind of hate you right now, so that's great. Alright. And then if we go on this twisty little path. Oh, killing machines! I don't think we've talked about those yet. There we go. Yeah, so we fought a variant of the robot-style enemy, but not these ones. HP of 70, no MP, attack power 55, defense of 95, 61 agility, 125 experience points, and 150 gold. They can hit twice or do a forced critical. Not super amazing things you need to write home about anytime soon, but you know, you keep your wits about you. Oh, and Sigurd one-shotting it with the critical. Very nice. still has the most MP right now. But she can heal herself again. And here we go. And just to make sure, there are... Yeah, okay, there's nothing, no holes in the floor here. Alright, and we're going to start... No, we're going to start by fighting some enemies, apparently. You know what? Let's go for it. Okay, I just wasted a spell. Let's do it. Ah, whatever. That kaboom was completely unnecessary. Yeah, but it looks like Paranel's getting another level up, so that's cool. So, as I was about to say, we're going to start with the bottom chest, which has some gold. You know, since we're trying to save up to get Sigurd some better armor and, if possible, pick up some power shields for everybody else. Because since you can use them as an item in battle and they cast mid-heal, they're really useful for anybody to have. And then this one here, which I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. Okay, everything I was seeing was pointing to this being a trap. But instead, well, it's still kind of a trap. Because the Thanatos shield, a sinister shield steeped in the sorrow of forsaken souls. So... let's actually, I believe only, yeah, Larazia can equip it. It's even stronger than Erdrick's shield. Gee, we should get right to putting this on. No. This is the cursed shield that I was talking about some of the enemies in here can drop. Ooh, green dragon. It's about time some dragons showed up. I mean, it is a quest for dragons after all. That name has become less and less relevant as the series has gone on, let's face it. Anyway. But, anyway, since we haven't run into those dragons before, let me get their info pulled up here really quickly. So, dragons, 90 HP, 0 MP, 120 attack, 56 defense, 62 agility, and they get 480 experience, 147 gold, and they can drop a cursed sword, which, similar to the shield, more powerful than the Thunder Sword or the Thunderbolt Blade, but again, I might play around and show what the curse does since we actually have one here, but we're going to do it in a controlled environment because it can mess you up. Anyway, they can, of course, breathe fire because they're dragons. Dragons do. Anyway, we're going to start. We're going to start with you. And you. And nuke them till they glow. Boom! Oh. I guess that robot is immune to nuclear blast. That's cool. I never thought about how this is laid out. I would have done this differently. Oh well. Oh dear. Sigurd's dead. That's a problem. That's just because he's our right out of here when we need to. No, but seriously, stop dodging my attacks, you two. Or you three. Okay, how am I going to do this? Because, well, actually, this is kind of the major nexus of the dungeon. And, well, it actually kind of plays out a little bit weird. Sledgehammer. Whoa. Okay, let's... Alright, Paranel. You're on the boom squad. That sounds way more like it should be a thing than it probably actually should be a thing. Great, so I just poisoned too. Alright, so this ain't a great situation. Oh, fraud. It's like he's poisoned. Oh no, she does have Squelch, okay. I thought only Sigurd had Squelch. Okay, no, that's cool. Alright, we can live with this. We can do this. Okay, so one thing to hear. The stairs that we... Actually, no, it's close enough. I'm going to do it. This ain't... Go, crap. As it is going even worse because I can't do inputs properly, so that's great. What I wanted to do was blows up. I don't know if it's going to do any good. Actually, might make things worse. No, we're not going to do Holy Protection, actually. Peachy. Just peachy. Really? Really, game? What did I ever do to you? Okay, so we're not going to do this. Actually, we're not going to get the last treasure in here because the game decided it's hated me, and it hates me, and the last treasure is not really worth getting. It's only like a few hundred gold. Basically, the stairs that you come in when you reach this floor of the dungeon. Oh, right, Squelch. I do not like that for the translation of the spell. It's a weird sounding word, and I don't like it. No, sir. Actually, that's enough where mid-heal is probably going to be our best bet here. But yeah, the stairs where you come in, if you instead go to the left, it'll take you to a tunnel. You go up that, and it'll take you to a treasure chest, like a couple of stairs, and you'll be at a treasure chest, and you'll be like, oh, what's in the box? It's not much. So that's great. But yeah, since the game has decided it hates me and we're down a party member who can't easily just exit our way out of the dungeon, we're gonna try and get through this because we're actually not too far from the end of this dungeon. Yay for high agility. And good luck. Honestly, having a party member dead actually isn't that bad. It's a general thing. It's just one of those things that always annoys me. It's like, oh no, now my party isn't leveling up evenly. I am angry. Okay, but anyway. Okay, so we go one down, two this way. And if we go straight down, as I mentioned, this room there's a lot of I hit everything. There's a lot of holes in the floor. I don't remember where they take you, but you know what? I'm not in any rush to find out. Actually, where do they take you? Ah, okay, so I see. Oh. Okay, so I see. With getting the Thunder Shield, I actually could have taken a shorter route. Because, yeah, the holes in the floor just take you to the floor below, and, like, when you look at where the holes in the floor are, here, it's going to take us to the room where we found the Thunderbolt Blade at. Okay, so this is the final section of the dungeon. And this is actually kind of the more obnoxious version of the second floor, where you just had that tunnel that you just had to take the correct turn, otherwise it just loop you around. This one, it's a windy series of paths, and if you take the wrong path at some point, it will take you basically back to here. But, well, I have maps. So we do this, this, this. Oh, they laid out the... Whoa! Rendark. I don't think we fought those before. Give me one moment. Oh! Is this? Yeah, I'm thinking it is. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I actually might have fought these before, but nonetheless, Pteranodactyls. 57 HP, 0 MP, 75 attack, 25 defense, 48 agility, gives 95 experience points, 83 gold, and can attack twice. And actually a couple of things I've seen, I know that the drop tables they've listed in this thing here are wrong. So I'm just going to not talk about what things drop. We'll see for ourselves. Because something else I was looking at, if I'm not mistaken, these things do drop. But something else I'm seeing here says, no, they don't drop that. So either way, though, we're near the end of this dungeon, and I just don't feel like dealing with this game. Yes, so, boom. Oh, wait, shit. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up and confirm something here. I just realized I was kind of being stupid about how I set something up. Alright. Oh. Okay, so I guess it doesn't show that information. Okay, fine. Whatever. No, okay, we're still down in health. So it should be this way. And then both these are actually valid for the next room. However, the wrong direction, the room after that, will take you back to the start. So this is the correct way. Then we'll go up here. We can take out the forts very easily. And then we'll focus on the big bad green dragon. Which actually, like, the sprite is not scaled well. That berserker looked bigger than the dragon. Doesn't feel like that should be correct. And level 31 for Laurasia. More stat boost, because that's what he gets. That's what he gets when he levels up. Woo! Cool dragons, huh? Alright. I don't know about you, but blowing stuff up is always fun if you ask me. Alright, then we take this route. This one. Oh, by the way, how are we looking stat-wise? Yeah, we're doing good. Paranor's running low on MP, but we are almost out of here. We take this. Blow stuff up. Nah, that's just fine. Eloasia can probably finish off this one here with a physical attack. Yep, there we go. Oh, okay, and it does still keep its special palette out here. So yes, this is Rendark, in the middle of that circle of mountains there. And that, well, the cave there, the cave to Rendark. Ah, Cyclops. Okay. So, 115 HP, 121, or 115 HP, 0 MP, 121 attack, 42 defense, 43 agility, gives 99 experience and 250 gold. You have to be backwards from the other thing. You're better organized, so I guess that makes it. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Okay, we killed it. Cool. Alright. Alrighty. So, Frost Burns. 92 HP, 8 MP, 95 attack, 73 defense, 85 agility. He has 113 experience and 412 gold. I feel like the gold values might be a bit high for these. Also, there we go. And they can cast Thwack, Sap, and I forget the defense boosting spell. So, with that HP value and how many of them there are, and I just like explosions. And then, actually, the other thing I wanted to pull up here. Yeah, okay. So that's the correct direction. And here is the last resting spot. Well, actually, first thing first, let's get Sigurd back up and going. Oh! Oh, he just fully heals, no cost. Sweet. No. Yes, we will continue on our quest, though. And yeah. By this teleportal may you return unto the world beyond the mountains. By all means, avail yourselves of it, should the need arise. And that's why I say this kind of point, that dungeon we just did, is a sort of soft point of no return. Because you can actually go back to the main world. And, well, we also have Zoom, which should let us go wherever we like. However, in older versions of the game, the way Zoom worked, Zoom took you back to the last place you had saved. So, you could go back to the rest of the world, but it'd basically be, make this your save point, go back to the rest of the world, which I forget where this drops you, actually. Oh! Okay. And like, you have access back to the outside world, but then you'd have to like do that, then take you to Baran, then you'd have to sail wherever you wanted to go, get anywhere you wanted to go manually, if you wanted to go somewhere else. So that way you could then just zoom back to Rendark. Thankfully, this game actually uses the modern version of Zoom, which you can just choose your destination from a list of destinations and just go there. It's a much more convenient way of doing things, and it makes this even softer of a point of no return, because you can go back to wherever you like. For example, if I had the money to, I could go back and buy Sigurd's strongest armor. Not gonna do that though because I don't have that money. So we're gonna call it a day here. Tune in next time where, well, we're in the realm of Hargon now. So I guess it's time to bring the fight to him, huh? Until then though, as always, later folks.